4's presentation of Purdue University basketball is brought to you in part by your Central Indiana Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy. And by the makers of Campbell's Chunky Soup. It takes care of the meanest appetites.
The following is a copyrighted presentation of Purdue University in conjunction with Raycom Sports and Entertainment. Thursday night, the Purdue Boilermakers win against highly rated and undefeated Connecticut out of the Big East. Looking for stability and leadership, they found it in a number of players, led by 6'9" sophomore Steven Scheffler, who turned in a career game. The big center went 8 for 9 from the field, 5 for 5 at the line, pulled down 6 rebounds, on the way to a career-high 21 points and no turnovers in 30 minutes of action, as Coach Gene Cady's team found the magic winning formula again. Raycom Sports and Entertainment presents Purdue Boilermaker basketball.
Today's game is being brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By your dependable drugstore, Hook's Drug Stores. And by the American Dairy Association of Indiana, your local dairy farmer.
This is University Gym at Ball State University. The first time the Boilermakers have ever played here. Good afternoon. I'm Joe Pate with Bob Ford. And Bob, how difficult will it be for the Boilermakers to keep up that intensity they had against Connecticut, against Ball State here in unfriendly confines?
Well, it should be a good game to do that, Joe. This is a great gym. There's a lot of great fans here. If you can't play basketball today, you probably can't play.
The Boilermakers are 4-2. The Ball State Cardinals are undefeated in 5 games. And we'll be back to check on the starting lineups for today's game in just a moment.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to University Gym. We welcome Raycom Sports and the entertainment television audience to our game today between the visiting Boilermakers of Purdue University and the Ball State University Cardinals. Now, let's meet our starting lineups for today's game. First, for Purdue, starting at 1 forward, a 6'8" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 35, Melvin McCants. At the other forward, a 6'9" junior from Lafayette, Indiana, number 15, Ryan Burning. At center, a 6'9" junior from Ada, Michigan, number 55, Steven Scheffler. Starting at 1 guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Rock Island, Illinois, number 5, Bill Reed. And at the other guard, a 6'3" junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 25, Tony Jones. Head coach of the Boilermakers in his 9th season, Gene Cady. And now, let's meet your Ball State University Cardinals. Starting at forward for Ball State, a 6'7" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 42, Paris McCurdy. At the other forward, a 6'5" junior from Spencer, Indiana, number 33, Sean Parrish. At center for the Cardinals, a 6'9" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 44, Curtis Kidd. At guard for the Cardinals, a 6'3" junior from Muncie, Indiana, number 30, Billy Butts. And at the other guard, a 6'1 junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 20, Scott Nichols. Head coach for the Cardinals in his second season, Rick Majerus.
And there you have the starting lineups, and we'll be back with the first half action after this message from your local station.
Son, getting those chores done, aren't you?
And Tom Palmer out of Indiana. The Boilermakers and the Cardinals, they have met 3 times before. Boilermakers have won the other 3 going away.
It'll be a key on the inside again today, Joe. Purdue with a much stronger and bigger club on the inside, more experienced. And if they can certainly continue the kind of play they had against Connecticut, then they'll be able to win here this afternoon. But I guarantee you the Cardinals are ready for an upset.
Curtis Kidd at 6'9", number 44. Steve Scheffler at 6'9", number 55 for the Boilermakers. There is electricity at the University Gym. The ball is going to be finally controlled by Curtis Kidd. He is the team's leading scorer, averaging 14-6. Outside is Billy Butts. He's working against Reed. Here's the ball deflected away, but chased down outside by Sean Parrish. Parrish is a 6'5 junior, averaging 7'2". Here's the ball at the top of the key. The basket is good by Butts. And the Cardinals lead 2-0. We played 30 seconds.
If you're a Cardinal fan, that's what you like to see. The big 3-pointer right at the top of the game to get the crowd fired up.
Here is the alley-oop to McCants. He pulled it down, tipped up, and the tip-in is by Burning, I think. Burning gets the tip-in, and this game is tied.
Great board play by Burning, slipping to the inside. Everybody went after McCants when he got the alley-oop shot, left Ryan wide open.
33 is Sean Parrish, averaging 7'2". Here's the shot that's going to be missed by McCurdy, and there is a charge on McCurdy. That'll be the first foul in the game. It's a turnover. The ball belongs to the Boilermakers with a record of 4-2.
One of the keys in the ball game early will be the players figuring out how the officials are going to call the ball game. Is it going to be called tight? Is it going to be a banger on the inside? It looks like it's going to be called tight.
Man-to-man, McCants, short jumper, no. Rebounded by the Cardinals, and McCurdy came off with it, deflected away by Tony Jones, who came off of a superb game against Connecticut. There's the head man of the Ball State Cardinals, Rick Majerus, and Purdue's Gene Cady.
Number of the starters are transfers for Ball State, and most of them, the big people anyway, were great rebounders at the institutions they came from.
Nichols used up his dribble, then he got it right back from McCurdy. Outside is Billy Butts. Reed stays with him. This is Parrish laying it off to the left wing. Back outside. Butts fires. Didn't get the roll. McCants got the rebound. McCants has been getting better than 6 a game. His high this year has been 13. Boy, Scheffler and McCurdy are pushing each other in the lane. McCants back to Tony Jones. Back to Burning. He had his career best against Connecticut the other night with 10. A 3-pointer is missed by Reed. It's cleared by Curtis Kidd. His best game has been 9 rebounds. On the dribble is Nichols. Back outside. It goes to Parrish. Curtis Kidd. Now we got a whistle away from the ball, and we got a foul on Reed, I think. Reed pushing away from the ball. The first foul on Purdue.
A lot of picks being set out there. Gene Cady looking at the offense, trying to figure out what he wants to do with his defense as the game continues, but they get caught sometimes trying to get through those picks.
Purdue stays in the man. This is Nichols against Tony Jones. Nichols is out of Detroit, Michigan. Pass inside, backdoor, 3 basket by Parrish. And the Cardinals lead 4-2. Tony Jones committed a foul on the play. It'll be his first. That's the second on Purdue.
Nice backdoor action as the Boilermakers get caught up at the top of the key. There you see the foul on Tony Jones. And it'll put number 33, Parrish, on the line as this crowd is going wild here at Ball State.
Parrish is 4 of 5 on the year. From the stripe, he didn't get this one, and the rebound is by Burning.
Purdue has got to take that crowd out of the ball game with a little run here of 3 or 4 baskets and get Ball State down just a bit. If that crowd stays in the game, it'll be a tough afternoon.
McCants against Kidd. Purdue moves it around well. Tony Jones missed it. Rebounded by Nichols. We played 2:45.
Got to have those jump shots from 10 to 12 feet. Those will open up the inside play.
They go low. Here's McCurdy. Deflected away. Reed almost stole it away, but McCurdy got it back. Outside the Bucks. Shot clock 40 seconds as they got a new 45. In Nichols puts it up. No foul. And it'll be called against Tony Jones. And the young man out of Fort Wayne Northrop has 2 fouls here, and Purdue has 3.
That's a critical foul on Tony Jones as he just gets beat to the inside. There you see the nice move to the inside by Nichols. Tony coming from the back as he got beat out front, commits the foul. That's 2. That means we're going to see a new player here in the next several minutes for Purdue at that point position.
Scott Nichols, the junior out of Detroit, averaging 4 points a game and 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Misses his first effort, and the Cardinals have missed their first 2. 16:52 to play in the half.
I think both of these teams are feeling the pressure of this particular ball game, with the crowd really expecting a big day, as there's a lane violation.
And let's see. The lane violation was called against McCurdy, so it'll be out of bounds to the Purdue Boilermakers.
Or they get in way early.
Ooh.
They anticipated the shot. Maybe a little pause that isn't normally there because of the pressure of the ball game, and it's a missed opportunity for Ball State.
5-2 in favor of the Cardinals. Ball will be out of bounds to Purdue underneath the Boilermaker basket. Bill Reed will throw it in. Burning, by the way, is getting his second start. He did well against Connecticut the other night in his first. Here's the alley-oop. It goes into Reed, and he gets the basket, and that cuts the lead to 5-4. Nice pass from Burning in there. So we'll have a 5-4 score. Here come the Boilermakers again. Reed with it. Sends it out to Tony Jones. They go to McCants. He goes free for the basket and couldn't get it to stay in. And now it did roll in there. McCants got it. And it is now a lead of Purdue, 6-5 for the first time.
That's the run I was talking about a moment ago. Off the defense, Reed makes the steal. The Boilermakers come down and get a good inside move from McCants.
Outside with the ball is Butts. Looks inside. They go to McCurdy. Turns and fires it up there. No. Here is battle for it. And Burning comes down with it. And they rule it'll be out of bounds to Purdue. So they give the ball to the Boilermakers. Now we're going to have a substitution. Here is Lauren Clyburn going to come into the game for the Boilermakers. And Billy Reed goes out. We're going to have a timeout now. 15:47 to play in the first half. The score is Purdue 6, Ball State 5. We'll be back right after this.
I walk all across the country, and wherever I go, I see people getting healthy. Yeah, there's something they know. They know that milk's got the vitamins and protein too. So get some milk in your health kick, whatever you do. Come on and kick, 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 health kick with milk. Come on and kick, 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 health kick with milk. America's favorite health kick, milk.
Get on a health kick with milk.
Golden years, you make me feel so young.
Our life is just begun.
Each day I spend with you will make our dreams come true.
Nothing's more important than your good health, and you can trust Hook's Pharmacists in Green for the care and concern your family deserves.
We like to see you smile.
At the St. Petersburg Times, press operators had to wait while pages were sent by hand from an office miles away. But then, with the help of GTE, they came up with a way to send those pages over fiber optic phone lines, saving precious time and money. You see, at GTE, it's not just communications we offer, it's solutions. Call us. We deliver.
Back at University Gym at Ball State. Here's that play a moment ago from Tony Jones to Ryan Burning. And they've tried that a number of times this year. That's the first time they got the dunk off of it, and that really quieted the crowd.
Purdue leads 6-5 after being down 5-2. 15:47 to play in the first half. Boilermakers are averaging 75 points a game. The Cardinals nearly 80. Competition is a little different, although the Cardinals did open with Minnesota and they went into overtime before the Cardinals were able to win that. Now we got a little conference at midcourt with the two coaches and one of the officials. Rick Majerus and Gene Cady are down there, and one of the officials talking, explaining something.
I think there was a question on that last play just before the timeout. The ball was given out of bounds to Purdue. It looked like a tie-up by Ball State and Purdue, which means that the arrow, the possession arrow, would change because the Boilermakers had that since they didn't get the tip at the beginning of the ball game, and I believe that's what they're talking about. Maybe we can hear.
It's still to Purdue because I got a question. That does not change. That's the question.
Well, they decided whatever they needed to, and it's going to be Purdue's basketball. Cardinals have 2 turnovers. Purdue has none so far. Here come the Boilermakers with Clyburn and Jones at guard. Clyburn coming off of an 11-point performance. And we got another timeout, and Kidd and Scheffler are talked to.
A lot of physical action down low as Kidd and Scheffler, as you said, were really battling. Ball State in a zone right now. Looks like a 3-2.
And they kind of put 2 men around Scheffler there in that zone when he comes in tight. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Tony Jones down to Burning, who already has 2 baskets here this afternoon. McCants has the other for Purdue. 15 on the shot clock. Burning for 3. Couldn't get it. Pulled off there by Sean Parrish. 7 rebounds a game for Parrish. He is averaging 7.2 points a game. Nichols guarded by Tony Jones. Billy Butts with a 13.4 average. Second high on the team. He's on the drive. Nichols will bring it back outside. Less than 15 to play. Purdue leads by 1. Here's a turnaround by Kidd. Is good. His first basket. And the Cardinals lead 7-6. Cardinals were 14-14 last year.
And they're not afraid to go inside against the big people from Purdue. That was a nice move by Kidd. Little turnaround jumper.
Burning low to McCants. Double team. And a jump ball. The ball goes to Ball State. Now Gene Cady is up. He's questioning an official on a play. He thinks the ball ought to go the other way.
The official made the wrong call initially. He called a jump ball. It is not a jump ball. It's a 5-second violation. There you see the clamp down low. Nobody comes to help McCants. He is really stuck in there. Good job by the Ball State defense. They clamped him tight.
So it's a 5-second call. That's a turnover, and that's the first of the afternoon for the Boilermakers. 7-6. The Cardinals lead. Here's the jump by Butts. Air ball. It'll be out of bounds to Purdue. Last year, these 2 teams met at Lafayette. In fact, the 3 previous games have been played at West Lafayette. The Boilermakers routed Ball State 96-47.
Ball State remaining with that 3-2 zone. It worked last time. Purdue was not able to penetrate the zone. Boilermakers are going to have to find a way through it.
6 minutes have gone by. They go to McCants. Look at him collapse on him. And now we got a reach-in foul. And it'll be called on the Cardinals. Number 20, we believe. Nichols with it. That'll be the second called on Ball State.
Cardinals nearly got the ball as the big people in front knocked it away, but Nichols created the foul from behind on the push before the shot, so Purdue will have it out of bounds.
We'll have a substitution. Number 31 comes into the lineup for Ball State. Greg Miller. He's a 6'8 junior out of Yorktown. His average is 11.8. We have another substitution now. Number 22, Mike Spicer, 5'11", 175 freshman out of Grand Rapids. Purdue down by 1. Clyburn short jumper. Ball out of bounds. McCants hit it last. It'll be out of bounds to the Cardinals. And boy, are their supporters here today.
Ball State excited about this opportunity. They've got a good basketball team. Rick Majerus in his second year brought in a number of transfers to get this program on track where he thought it ought to be, because he feels like that they need to get some confidence, get the fan support behind them, which they have here today, and they're looking for a big upset.
Spicer, one of the reserves, gives it to Miller, the other man who just came in a few seconds ago. Billy Butts outside to Spicer. It is a three-pointer missed by Butts. There's a battle for the rebound, and Tony Jones gets it. 13:15 to play in the half. It's a one-point game. The Cardinals lead it. McCants gets the in pass in low and gets the basket. His second of the afternoon, and Purdue has regained the lead, 8-7.
Ball State had gone back to the man-to-man. Purdue immediately recognized it, went inside to the big guy, and got 2 points. I think we're going to see that zone come back.
Purdue stays in the man-to-man. Butts from long range drills it in for 2. Butts gets his second basket, and the lead goes back to Ball State, 9-8. Well, the Cardinals stay in the man-to-man this time down, Bob. Here is Scheffler back out to Jimmy Oliver, who checked in. Clyburn goes to Scheffler, looking for his first basket, puts it up and got it. Scheffler's basket gives Purdue a 1-point lead.
Scheffler really puts a lot of pressure on the defense down low. You never know when he's going to go up with that head fake that he uses, and he's so strong with the basketball that even if you hit it, you can't knock it away from him.
Scheff was really nervous against Connecticut the other night, but he came out and did his best ever. Here's a three-pointer by Billy Butts, and he has 7. And the Cardinals lead by 2.
You can see it just in the physical stance of Butler on the court. He is really ready to go. The Cardinals back now into that zone defense. They're going to be changing up the defenses to try to bug the Boilers.
Oliver misses. It's rebounded by Curtis Kidd. On the dribble is Mike Spicer. Purdue gets down in a hurry. Here is McCurdy. Couldn't get through. Back up to Kidd. Ball State moves the ball well. Greg Miller with it. Blocked by Oliver. Almost a throwaway. Lays it low to Kidd. Double teamed. Spicer in the corner. This is Butts. He can shoot from long range. The last time down he did. McCurdy. Here's a drive by Butts. No, but a foul. McCants is guilty of his first. That's 4 on Purdue, 2 against the Cardinals.
Nice move by Butts coming down the lane. Made a great move out front, slid right by his defender. When McCants came over, he just did bump him with the hip. Committed the foul while he was in the air. He'll go to the line for 2. As coming into the lineup for Purdue is Bill Reed.
And Lauren Clyburn, who has become the 6th man for Purdue, takes a seat. And at the free throw line will be Bill Butts up there for the first time this afternoon. There's Rick Majerus, former longtime assistant at Marquette, former head man at Marquette. Number 32 is Roman Muller, 7'1" junior. Butts at the line. He'll shoot 2. His first one is good. That gives him 8 points. And the lead is 3 for Ball State. Butts the leading scorer on the floor now with 9. And that's the biggest lead that either team has enjoyed today. 14-10. We are 9 minutes deep into this one. Another 5-second call on Purdue, which is the second turnover of the afternoon.
I think that call came way early, Joe. They weren't even into a situation where the defender had forced the play. Just simply calling the play on the outside. And that's one of those calls that you don't like to see happen to you on the road, but you're going to get them from time to time.
This is Billy Butts. From the corner, it's a three-pointer by Greg Miller, who just came in. 16-10. It's a run of 7 by Ball State. the hands of Scheffler. Out of bounds, Purdue. And the ball belongs to the Cardinals.
You just have to play through this kind of action. You just have to play through it.
We have a timeout with 10:32 to play in the first half. The score, Ball State 17, Purdue 10. We'll be back after this message from your local station.
When you think of all the fun it gives you, the new Chevy Cavalier just could be one of the best bargains you've ever driven.
Here, Ball State 3 of 5 from the three-point area. They've done a good job there. They're getting away with some physical battling on the inside, and Purdue has not returned that yet. They just are not playing as physical as Ball State is.
So, on the dribble is Mike Spicer.
1-3-1 zone this time out for Purdue.
First time they've been in the zone in the first half. We're 19 seconds away from the midway point of the half. Down low is Kidd. He's been held to one basket. Here's a three-point attempt missed by Miller. It's retrieved by Billy Reed for the Boilermakers. Now we're at the midway point of the half. 17-10 in favor of the Ball State Cardinals. Building the new arena. This place holds all 6,900. Here is Scheffler with his second basket. And that stops the run. 5-point game now.
Nice inside move by Scheffler. Really pinned his man away from the basket. A good insertion pass, and the Boilers get an easy one.
Keith Stalling checked in during the timeout. He's number 23. Here's a three-pointer, and it is by Kidd. And they say it's a 2, so make it 4. It'll be 19-12 now. 19-12 in favor of the Cardinals. And here's a foul as Burning gets the basketball, and he's going to be fouled by number 23, which will be Keith Stalling. That'll be his first. So with the score 19-12, that's only the third foul called against the Cardinals. It'll be out of bounds to Purdue, and Bill Reed will throw it in. Burning, short jumper. Rebounded by Curtis Kidd. Spicer will take it up. Gets it right back from Stalling. Miller back to Stalling, top of the key. Boilermakers in that 2-3 zone this time.
It's almost a matchup zone, Joe, depending on what the front is by Ball State.
They go low to Muller. He's a big one. Here's a three-point attempt, and it is good by Miller. And that's a 22-12 lead.
Purdue needs some kind of a spark right now. They're going to sleep out there. They're not getting the job done. There's
away
a foul.
From the ball, we have a foul on Burning, which will be his first. That's 5 on the team.
The other night against Connecticut, it took a technical foul against the bench to get the Boilermakers fired up. Right here this afternoon, they don't seem to have the go-get that they need to get the job done, as Ball State is coming out and just taking the full measure of Purdue on both ends of the court.
The guards are Nickel and Stalling for the Cardinals, who are 5-0. And playing outstanding basketball here in this first half against the folks across the state. Nichols. Purdue keeps 3 men deep. They've shifted out of the zone. Here's the short jumper. It's missed by Miller, and it's retrieved by Bill Reed for the Boilermakers. 12 minutes gone by. The ball knocked away by Greg Miller at 6'8", leaped up to knock it out of bounds.
A number of these players, as we mentioned, are transfers. A couple of them came from University of Arkansas at Little Rock and from Hutchinson Junior College.
With 7:59 to play in the half, we have a timeout with the score. Ball State 22, Purdue 12. We'll be back right after this. Cardinals shifting in a kind of a matchup too, Bob, right?
They're playing a zone again. This is the 3-2.
Tony Jones will go back outside to Keith Stewart, who checked in during the timeout. Boilermakers have Stewart and Jones at guard. The ball is kicked away by Keith Stalling. It'll be out of bounds. Purdue along the front line. Burning, McCants, and Scheffler. 7.5 minutes to play in the first half. Purdue with 3 turnovers. Ball State 2. Burning to McCants. They collapse on him. Deflected away, and pulling it down is Greg Miller. 6'8". Here come the Cardinals quickly. Stalling gives it out front. Nichols with it. He's working against Stewart, the young man out of Milwaukee. They go low. Here's the turnaround jumper. Is good by McCurdy. And it is now 24-12. Double the score.
Well, we're getting in that serious situation here where if the Boilermakers cannot find some outside shooting, they're going to have a long afternoon.
Burning for 3. Didn't get it. Scheffler had it taken away from him. Nichols to Kidd. Scheffler itching out on him. Here is Stalling driving down. Cut off there by Tony Jones. Greg Miller at 6'8", playing outside at the moment. Miller again. They go low. Here's the jump shot missed by Kidd. And it's retrieved by Melvin McCants. 6:19 to play in the half.
Good jumping ability along the front line shown by Ball State. A couple of times they've been able to go up and knock the ball away from Purdue. Boilermakers got to bring it down strong.
Purdue just hasn't been able to get much inside, and when they've gotten it in there, man has been really covered. Here's the jumper by Stewart. It's good. Stewart for 2. His first basket.
You make a good point there, Joe. You can't get it inside if you can't hit the 12-foot jump shot. Early in the game, Purdue was able to get it in because they were a little concerned about hitting that jump shot after the way they played against Connecticut. Ball State then packed it down inside when Purdue missed 2 or 3.
And it's a 10-point lead for the Cardinals, who have the basketball. This is Stalling down into the corner to Miller. Burning stays with him. They go into the middle, and it is missed by McCurdy. It's retrieved and put back up and in by Kidd. He has a half a dozen. And it's a 12-point lead now for the Cardinals again, 26-14.
Ball State wants this ball game. They're exhibiting it with their play on the backboard. They're taking good shots. They're playing great defense.
Boilermakers have led by only 1 in this game. Stewart, last time down, was able to hit one. McCants, 2 men come on him. McCants goes in there and can't get it, but a foul is going to be called. And it'll be marked against number 31. And the foul is against Miller. That'll be his first. That's 4 on the team.
Here's that move inside. Mel makes a nice fake. Good job. Gets him up in the air. Goes strong to the backboard. Ball won't fall. It's going to be on Miller, as you indicated a moment ago, as Purdue will make some changes. John Brugos will come in along with Jimmy Oliver, replacing Scheffler and Burning.
Brugos, the 6'9" junior from Crown Point, averaging 2.7 a game. Oliver. Jimmy had 1 game of 18. The other night he had 11. Only 2 times he's been in double figures. Purdue at the free throw line for the first time today. Melvin McCants shooting 60% on the year. Can't get the first one to fall. Purdue as a team shooting .596. The Cardinals this year shooting .683 from the start.
Well, we've talked about it a couple of times. It's been a roller coaster year, up and down for Purdue, looking for the consistency. Here this afternoon, the outside shot is not there, and it's really got the offense screwed up.
Melvin drops in his 5th point of the afternoon. And now it's 26-15. Cardinals. Boilermakers will take some time off after today. Have exams next week, although they'll play next Saturday. In low. Muller walked with it. It'll be out of bounds to the visitors from Purdue.
Boilermakers are stepping up the pressure that time on the court. As you saw Gene Cady, they extended their defense to full court and got Ball State a little bit off stride. They committed the turnover in the middle. Purdue has a chance to get that lead back into single digits.
4:40 to play, first half. Here is a steal by Nichols, going for the easy basket. Now it is a 13-point lead for the Cardinals.
One of the problems Purdue has is that they don't create the good passing lane. The angle is not exactly what they want, and it actually gives the edge to the defense. It makes a better angle for them.
Tony Jones goes to Brugos, had it taken away, but the Cardinals couldn't hold on to the ball, and it goes out of bounds with a little more than 4 minutes to play. There's Gene Cady trying to find a combination. Now we're going to have a substitution for the Cardinals. Number 44, Curtis Kidd, comes back in. And going out is big 7'1" Roman Muller.
Tell you, Joe, this is one of those basketball places, the great old places, where you have the fans and the teams right down on the court, and when they cheer, they're right on the court.
Brugos trying to get free for the basket, and he does on his first effort. 28-17 now for the Cardinals. 4 minutes to play in the half. Checking the sidelines for the play is Billy Butts. Checked in there with Rick Majerus, the head coach, as he went by the bench. Away from the ball, we have a foul. And Keith Stewart is guilty of it. We're going to have a timeout now with 3:51 to play in the first half. With the score, Ball State 28, Purdue 17. We'll be back after this message from your local station.
Even
they can win the ball game.
And we got a charging foul going to be called on Nichols, and the crowd didn't like it. They got some signs around here that says "We believe."
Well, they do. They've got a good ball club. They have people out there that know how to win in different basketball programs, not necessarily here at Ball State, but from where they transferred from. Guys from Little Rock have had a good program there. Hutchinson Junior College has had a good program. So they know how to win. They've got a transfer from Vincennes. It was second in the nation in junior college. So they know how to win ball games.
It's a 28-17 lead for the Boilermakers. Stewart drives all the way in, tries to put it up. No, deflected away. Now we got a foul. And it'll be out of bounds to the Boilermakers because the ball hit the upright there after it was deflected by a Cardinal.
Here it comes. Good penetration here by Keith Stewart. The problem is you just can't get it over the top of the big guys. There you see it hit the white standard there, and that's out of bounds.
So it belongs to Purdue, and the Cardinals are back into that man-to-man hawking defense with 3:30 to play. First half. Purdue down 17-28. Trying to just gradually cut back into it by halftime. Pass into Brugos, looking for a second basket. It wouldn't stay. The Boilermakers have had real trouble getting that ball to stay in there.
And Ball State has forced Purdue in their blocking out to go all the way under the basket. Purdue had inside position, but they were under the net.
Nichols sends it outside. This is Sean Parrish. Right wing is Billy Butts. Have him unofficially with 10 points.
Tony Jones really clamping down on Butts now, staying right with him.
This is McCurdy. He was one of those transfers Bob was talking about a while ago from the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Here is Butts firing. No. Taken off the board and put back up and missed by Parrish. And it'll be out of bounds off the hands of Parrish. Out of bounds to Purdue.
Ball State all over the back of Purdue that time on the rebound. I mean, they were all over the back. And there was no foul call. The ball fortunately went out of bounds off of Ball State for Purdue. And the Boilermakers will get it back.
Freshman Lauren Clyburn, 6'4", out of Detroit, is back into the Purdue lineup. And Bill Reed is also back in. Brugos goes out. And Stewart goes out. Burning. Reed. Scheffler. Tony Jones. And Clyburn in there. And we got a blocking foul on Burning. That'll be his second. So the ball goes over to the Cardinals, and now we have a 1-and-1 situation.
Well, some of the calls starting to border on the ridiculous based on what's happening on the other end of the floor. I know that's one thing that coaching staffs, whether it be Purdue, Ball State, or whoever, they just want them called consistently. If it's a foul on one end, make it a foul on the other end. That way the players know what to do. When you don't get the calls on one end and they all come on the other end, it creates a real emotional problem for the players and actually takes the game out of their hands and puts it in the hand of the official.
Curtis Kidd at the line with 6 points this afternoon. We've been stuck for a while on the 28-17 mark. Till just then, 29-17. As the Cardinals edge up toward the 30 mark. They were up 24 to 12, 26 to 14, 28 to 15. Now it's 29-17 as Kidd drops in his second. 30-17. This matches the previous big goal. They're just hammering Scheffler under there. He was able to get away from Kidd, put it up. It won't fall, but he's... Oh, an offensive foul on him.
Now, this is the kind of basketball that, if you're a true fan, kind of makes you sick at your stomach. Steve Scheffler on the inside was absolutely mugged. Look at the holding down inside. Now, watch this. He goes straight up, and he gets clobbered, and they call the foul on Scheffler. Look at the holding on inside. Look at him shoving. You tell me that's not a foul? That's unbelievable.
Before they ever got to that shot, though, they were hammering, as I indicated, along the lane, just holding it.
He had his arm completely pinned down, and he couldn't get it up. All of a sudden, you know, there's no foul call.
Here's the ball inbounds, and the Cardinals almost got caught with a 5-second call because the official placed the ball on the floor. Now a palming violation gives the ball to Purdue. And Coach Cady still working the sidelines, trying to find something that will right his Boilermakers.
Purdue has got to play through this kind of activity. It's going to happen to you on the floor. You can't get upset. You just have to settle down, run your offense, play the good defense, and take the officials out of the ball game. If you play well, the officials aren't going to hurt you.
Purdue moving low, trying to get free. Scheffler in the lane, deflected. We got a foul, and this time it's on McCurdy. That call could have been made against McCurdy or Kidd about 5 or 6 times already in the basketball game.
There's a good look at Kidd. I'll tell you, he's a great player inside. Look at this. Gene Cady is excited. He wants this ball club to start playing, and it's hard to get that across in a stadium that's filled with red. And the partisan home crowd is screaming all the time, but Gene is working hard over on the sideline trying to get the Boilers started.
7-1 Roman Muller, 32, back into the game for the Cardinals. Clyburn with the basketball. He's guarded by Parrish. He goes to Scheffler, back to Clyburn. He fires, didn't get it, and it's pulled off by Spicer. Boilermakers are having trouble getting that ball to drop through the rim. Bounces off, goes in and comes out. Butts with it, goes low. Here's a turnaround shot that's going to be missed by Kidd, and it'll be a goaltend or not? No,
it was hit by a Ball State player up on the rim.
Offensive goaltending, knocking it off, and so the ball will belong to Purdue with 1:18 to play.
You need to get a basket after a call like that. You've got to come down and take advantage of everything you get.
And a foul on Spicer. He got a little too close. I think that's what bothers a lot of people. He was kind of running along. No doubt he fouled, but he was just kind of nudging. Whereas before on the inside, they beat you up. You big fellas apparently can take that more.
Well, you're big, strong guys, you know. But it appears at the moment that the flow has changed in terms of what's happening on the court. It looks like Purdue is getting a few more calls now. Maybe Gene had something to say that got the attention of the officials.
Tony Jones at the line, misses. And unable to hold the ball is the tall man, Muller, and it'll go out of bounds to the Boilermakers.
You know, it doesn't matter how many breaks you get in a ball game. If you can't take advantage of them, you're not going to be able to get back in it. Down 13, 1:08 remaining. You better cut it down to about 8 or 9 here by halftime, or the second half start is going to be a toughie.
Melvin McCants replaces Scheffler. Rick Hall is into the lineup for the Ball State Cardinals, and now another substitution for Purdue. Keith Stewart, number 11, is in for Tony Jones, who's playing with 2 fouls.
Good move by Gene Cady. Jones with 2 personal fouls. You don't want him to get that third one here in the last minute.
Here is Burning chasing the ball down, almost stolen away by Spicer. Stewart with it. Looks for McCants. He can't get free. Here is a loose ball finally picked up by the Cardinals, and a foul is going to be called on Purdue's Lauren Clyburn.
Well, that was an interesting exchange there as the Boilermakers started out with a bad pass from under the basket that went way too long, and then the hustling, scrapping defense of Ball State. Now finally getting the ball back. The foul's committed. They'll be at the free throw line. You know, the thing is that Ball State has adjusted to the way the game is being called. They're able to play physical, so they do. And that's one of the reasons why they have a 13-point lead.
Spicer looking for his first point of the afternoon. His team leads by 13. Now we have the biggest lead of the afternoon, 31-17.
You know, this is not unlike the Connecticut game, only in the other direction. The highly favored team comes in, Purdue in this case. Ball State comes out and kicks them right in the shin early in the ball game. Purdue's going to have to hustle to get back.
Spicer drops in both of them. Now we have a 15-point lead. Stewart had it stripped. Parrish with a breakaway. He got it. And a foul is going to be called. It is now a 17-point game. 34-17. Austin guilty of the foul.
Here they go again. Keith Stewart trying to get the Boilers started, loses the basketball, and it's a race to the other end. There's the contact on the head. No question about the call. That was just a tough defensive play by Purdue. Woody Austin's going to come out. Bill Reed's going to come back in. Just like the Boilermakers game against Connecticut, Purdue had a big run right before halftime, pushed that lead out to 19 points, and that was a big factor in the ball game.
Excellent free throw shooter is Parrish, but he misses. It's out of bounds, Purdue. You saw Woody Austin in there briefly for the Boilermakers and then went out. His coach at Richmond is in the stands here this afternoon. In fact, George Griffith is a graduate, he told me, of Ball State. But his player went to Purdue. He was Mr. Basketball last year. The Boilermakers down by 17. Here is another steal by the Redbirds. And no basket. It won't count. There was a foul back at midcourt. An offensive foul on Spicer as he ran over Bill Reed. No basket.
Well, you're talking about a critical play by Reed right there to pick up that charging foul. You push that lead up to 19 points here against Ball State, and Purdue is in big trouble. Here comes Reed to the free throw line. He'll get a 1-and-1. Here it comes. Way back the right-hand corner, middle of the screen, actually. Way before the bucket. The foul is committed. Reed will go to the line, and these are two gigantic free throws.
Bill Reed is 2 of 4 on the year. He's been averaging 6 points a game. Hasn't scored yet. And drops it in. Boilermakers are 2 of 4 at the line and breaks a run of 6 by the Cardinals.
If you can drop this free throw, get a good defensive series or a steal and come back and score again, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
He got them both. 34-19. Spicer in the backcourt with it is Parrish. Shot clock is off. This is Billy Butts. Butts again, and I think they want Butts to take the shot. If they can't get it low, Butts fires, didn't get it. Rebounded by Miller, and a foul on Reed with 3 seconds. And it is his second.
Inability to get that backboard cause you a lot of problems. It's a great rebound on the inside by Miller. No any question on the foul. Reed nearly took his wrists off there. Boilermakers have got to rule that backboard. They cannot let Ball State get 2 and 3 shots.
So we'll be at the free throw line with Greg Miller up there for the first today. Shoots and scores his 7th point. 35-19 Ball State. Kidd, and will it count? No basket. No basket. And so we have had a surprising first half. And the sea of red rises here as the two teams go off the floor. The score is Purdue 19, Ball State 35. Raycom Sports and Entertainment's coverage of Purdue Boilermaker basketball will continue after this message from your local station.
Kind of crowd they were going to see here at Ball State. Told them about the physical play and the way things happen on the road. early in the ball game, Joe, they didn't shoot the ball from the outside, and that's what got them into trouble. I mean, we talked about the officiating, and there were some tough calls, but so what? You have to shoot the ball into the basket from 12 to 15 feet. Purdue not able to do that here this afternoon. Ball State packs that defense back inside, and all of a sudden your offense is gone. They really have got to get started early in the second half if they're going to be competitive at all in this ball game.
You were mentioning about what Coach Katie might have told them before the game started. Can you imagine what he is telling them at the moment in the dressing room?
Well, the biggest thing is to tell the guys, hey, that's one half. They beat you by 17 points in that one, or 15, 16 points. And at that point, you just say, hey, you go out and beat them by 17 points in the second half. So the main thing they'll deal with is getting the offense correct, getting people moving in the right directions. Find the answer to why they can't stop Ball State defensively. Find out why they're not getting rebounds. Ball State is beating them to the backboard. As long as they can do those kinds of things, anybody's going to beat you. You've got to play Ball State just as tough as you played Connecticut. Every team is capable of beating you every night, and they're finding that out here.
What about the play of Scheffler and McCants inside? They've been beaten up pretty good. Now Scheffler's coming off of the tremendous game in which he was a little frightened going into it. What about the confidence level that he has now, right at this moment?
Well, I would say right now he doesn't have any confidence at all. I mean, he knows he can get the job done, but you have to have one or two go in the basket. Without the 10 to 12, 15-foot shots coming from the weak forwards and from the offside guard and from your point guard, you don't have an opportunity to go down inside and get the ball to the big guys. You've got to be able to hit that shot to take the pressure off of Scheffler and McCants inside. If you leave them down there all alone, they're not going to be able to get it done for you.
So we're at halftime here at University Gym with the score: the Ball State Cardinals 35, the Purdue Boilermakers 19. And we'll be back with more halftime activities right after this.
And more powerful computers. Electrical engineering professor James Cooper says the new cell is made of gallium arsenide instead of silicon.
And gallium arsenide is considerably faster than silicon materials. And also with gallium arsenide, you can transfer the information from chip to chip on beams of light. And ultimately, we hope to be able to do that.
The Purdue cell requires only one transistor to provide the same memory capabilities as current 6 transistor cells.
It is about 6 times smaller. So, for example, with the cell that we're developing right now, it should be possible to pack in 64,000 individual memory locations onto a chip, probably about 5 millimeters on the side.
The new memory cell was developed using a high-tech process called molecular beam epitaxy.
We essentially spray atoms of gallium and arsenic onto the wafer, sort of like spray painting a room in a house. By building these layers up, one atomic layer at a time, we can control the impurity concentration and the thickness of the films to really atomic-sized dimensions.
Purdue has received a patent on the discovery. Cooper says powerful supercomputers for the military and others will probably be the first to use the new cell. Ray Cubberley, Purdue University.
Welcome back to University Gym here at Ball State. We're at halftime of our game between Ball State and the Purdue Boilermakers. Raycom Sports and Entertainment's coverage of Purdue Boilermaker basketball will continue after this message from your local station.
Team than what we're seeing now. We had some good things happen to Purdue early in the ball game. Ryan Burning had a tremendous shot. Watch this pass coming from the outside. Good screen set by Reed. Burning goes up with the resounding dunk, and it looked good for Purdue early. And the Boilermakers also were able to find their big people on the inside, but watch the contact down low. This is Mel McCants. Pass coming from Oliver on the outside. Bang! You think it's not tough down low. McCants gets 2 for Purdue. But the story of the ball game, the outside shooting by Ball State. Watch the movement. Here's the little pick. Looks like Butts is going to take it. No, finds Miller open in the corner, and watch this baby go down through there. No question about this shot. Ball State red hot. And just in case that wasn't enough, they do it again. Miller's got it marked on the court over there. Watch this one. It doesn't hit anything but the bottom of the net, too. Ball State red hot from the field.
Ball State Cardinals had 3 5-pointers here this afternoon. Billy Butts had a couple of them, and Butts, by the way, leads all the scores on the floor with 10, and Greg Miller has a 3-pointer, and he has 7 points in the game. Boilermakers have nobody with more than 5 points. There's a problem.
It is a problem, Joe. They just can't find anybody that can score with any consistency at the moment. They were red hot against Connecticut, but guess what today? They're ice cold.
But the Boilermakers can come back, although they're down 35-19. And we'll be back with the first half statistics and the second half action right after this. Running Utes will be in to battle the Purdue Boilermakers at Mackey Arena.
Well, Purdue didn't shoot it very well. We'll take a look at the way that it came out. 8 out of 20, 40%. They shot 65% in the first half the other night. 12 of 25 for Ball State. Some of those coming from three-point area. 3 of 5 for Purdue from the free throw line. They didn't get there enough. Ball State shooting 7 out of 11. Neither team burning it up from the free throw line. There you see the difference in the free throw percentage, or 3-point. Purdue doesn't have any yet. Rebounds 12 and 16. Purdue should be winning that particular statistic if they're going to win the ball game.
Here's the scoring. Melvin McCants leads with 5. The others pretty well distributed. Burning and Scheffler with 4 apiece. Reed, Short, and Brugos have 2 each. Nobody in any particular foul trouble for the Boilermakers. And checking the others on the other side, as we indicated, Billy Butts is the leading scorer with 10. Curtis Kidd is right behind with 8 points.
Gene Cady talking to the Boilermakers, trying to get them ready here for the second half of play. Purdue was beaten badly on the offensive board. Ball State came up with 6 offensive rebounds. Purdue only came up with 3, as the Cardinals did a good job of battling for position. And Purdue lost that overall war, as we talked about a few minutes ago. They're not able to rebound as well as they'd like here against Ball State, but they'll get the basketball at the outset. And if they want to turn things around, they better put this one right down through the middle of that hoop.
So it'll be Purdue's basketball, and Billy Reed will throw it in. Tony Jones coming off of an outstanding game against Connecticut. In fact, several Boilermakers played outstandingly in that contest.
Ball State opens with that 3-2 zone that was effective in the first half.
Here is Tony Jones missing. Burning tipped it out to Tony. I think we have the original starters in there for both teams now.
Jimmy Oliver is in for Purdue.
Here's the ball tipped back to Jones again. Shot clock with 33. Here, 3 people on McCants. He got it to fall. And a foul is also called, and it'll be marked against Sean Parrish, number 33. Melvin McCants has 7.
Good power move by Big Mel down low. He feels the triple team, but goes ahead and takes it up strong anyway from behind the basket, knocks it down. He'll go to the free throw line with 1, but the big thing is you got to come back down now defensively and make a stop against Ball State and make them believe that they've got some problems here in the second half.
McCants was 1 for 2 in the first half. Misses this one. It's taken off the board by Sean Parrish. Boilermakers are 3 of 6 in the afternoon at the line. 7 of 11 for Ball State. Purdue in the man-to-man. Billy Butts with 10 points in the game. Right into the hands of Melvin McCants.
Good job by Bill Reed. Knocked that ball away. Purdue has another chance.
Oliver low, burning shot, wouldn't roll, tipped by McCants, and he goes over the back. Melvin McCants has 2. First foul on either team in the second half.
I think Ryan Burning was a little more open than he thought he was. He really had a clear move right directly to the basket. Nobody there. If he comes across into the basket, Mel McCants is going to be open for the easy one. Mel committed the foul right over the top as Purdue loses the basketball, and they'll put the defensive pressure right now on Ball State. Steve Scheffler comes back in, and Burning will go out.
Ball belongs to the Cardinals. We've played 1:01 in this second half. Here's a 3-on-2 by Ball State. But Nichols holds it up. Out to Curtis Kidd, the big man outside, 6'9" junior. Scheffler hawking him. Still working on Scheffler. Short jumper, rolls off. No, McCants tips it up and gets the ball, and he's fouled. And the foul is on McCurdy. That'll be his 3rd. He is the first player with 3 fouls today.
Purdue doing better on the backboard that time, knocking it away, then picking it out of the air as McCants got the rebound. I think Coach was telling Steve Scheffler something about his play in the first half. Scheffler did not get the start here in the second half, but he's on the court now. Let's see if Big Steve can get something started.
18:25 to play. The Boilermakers trying to put 3 wins together. Right now 4-2. Oliver back out to Reed. They go inside. Scheffler got it off the board. He's fouled, and the foul is on Curtis Kidd, his first. Sheff took just a little too much time to get it up, but he was really free, and he went hard to the board, but was fouled on the play.
Well, you see the ball coming off the board. Scheffler goes right back up. That's just a good effort by Kidd to get inside there. He's got good, powerful legs. It'll put Scheffler on the free throw line. Maybe you have to pass the ball off the backboard to get it to the big people on the inside. Let them box out. Jerry West used to do that.
Scheffler, 16 out of 22 on the year, has 2 field goals and now 5 points. Scheffler had 21, his career high, against the University of Connecticut the other night. Purdue has scored the first 3 points. Lots of distractions behind that board, but Scheffler drops in both of them, and Purdue now is down 35-23. Purdue scored the first 4 of the game. There's a foul in the backcourt. Tony Jones. He now has 3. So each team has a player with 3.
Thing that happens on a play like that is there's nobody down there to talk to Tony. Where is the other defensive player for Purdue? There should be somebody down there to help Tony out, to tell him what's happening. He really got blindsided.
Oh, with nearly 2 minutes gone by, Coach Katie relaxes a little bit, at least in the facial expression. I suspected he had a nice long chat at halftime. 2 minutes gone by in the second half now. Purdue down by 12, but remember they were down 35-19 when the half began. They've held the Cardinals scoreless in the first 2 minutes of this one. In low, the shot rolls around and falls through by McCurdy. Purdue has not been able to get any of those.
And the Boilermakers allowed the ball to get inside, actually inside the 4-foot area. You put anybody down there in major college basketball, and they're going to score a basket on you.
Reed on the alley-oop to Oliver, and the basket is good. Jimmy Oliver's first basket. It's a 12-point game.
It's a great pass by Reed from the outside. It's something that Troy Lewis did very well for Purdue and really didn't get a lot of credit for it.
Billy Butts from 3. That is his 3rd of the afternoon. That's 13 points for him, and a 15-point lead for the Cardinals.
As long as Ball State is hitting like that from the field, it's going to be a tough afternoon for Purdue. They really nailed that one.
Melvin McCants goes to Oliver. Back to Reed. Tony Jones to Reed. They're pushing inside. Scheffler being pushed by Miller. Here is Reed for 3, and he has 5. And it's a 12-point game, 40-28. Cardinals with the ball in the lead.
3 or 4 of those in a row would really help, but you've got to stop defensively on the other end. Purdue early was doing that pretty well, but they've got to keep Butts under control. He's a great shooter.
You've got to do more than just match the shots. 3.5 gone by. Billy Butts, the leading scorer on the floor with 13. This is Nichols. He has 2 points. Reed stops him. They go low, and a walking violation is called on Sean Parrish, nullifying what appeared to be a sure basket.
Parrish did a good job of sneaking inside Jimmy Oliver. Oliver allowed him the baseline, and that almost created a problem for Purdue. Miller comes back into the lineup. Another player checking back in is Spicer, number 22.
So after the turnover situation, 11-11 unofficially, although they now have Purdue with 12. So with nearly 4 minutes gone by in the second half, the Boilermakers need a basket off of that turnover just a few seconds ago. Tony Jones looks inside, and McCants and Scheffler can't get free. Now Scheffler on the right side of the lane comes out to Oliver. Here's Tony Jones for 3. Couldn't get it, and it's retrieved off there by the Cardinals, and McCurdy comes down with it. On the dribble is Spicer. Here is Miller crossing, puts it up, ball's off. McCants can't hold the rebound, but Oliver gets it. Now it's deflected away, and we're going to have a foul. And Reed is guilty of his third. He is the second Purdue player with 3. That's 3 already on the Boilermakers in the second half. We have a timeout. 15:33 to play in the game. The score, Purdue 28, Ball State 40. And we'll be back after this message from your local station. The Cardinals will have Butts and Spicer along with Curtis Kidd, Greg Miller, and Paris McCurdy. Leading scorer is Billy Butts with 13. Purdue hawking the ball man. And here is McCurdy. McCann stays with him. He goes outside to Kidd. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the second half. Purdue down by 12. Miller guarded by Oliver. Scheffler goes out on Kidd. Here's the long one. Missed by Miller. Cleared by Reed. Tony Jones up. Purdue needs a basket to get some momentum. Reed lays it off. Oliver looked in. Nothing there. Jones will set it up. Tony Jones goes into Scheffler. 2 men are on him. Puts it up. Scores! Scheffler has 8. And the Boilermakers have cut it to 10.
If you'll watch Ball State this time down the court, they've got one of their big people, Kidd, on the outside. There's a foul on Oliver. Kidd is playing outside. That takes Scheffler away from the play on the inside. And it opens it up down low for McCurdy, who's battling against McCann. So it looks like they may be taking some time off the clock, which is not a bad idea anyway. They're spending some time with that. There's the foul trouble. Reed and Jones both with 3, the 2 Boilermaker starters. But they're trying to get that ball inside against McCann. Let's see if they can do it.
Boilermakers already have 4 fouls in the second half. Here is a shot missed out there by Butts. He's already made 3 3-pointers. Now Purdue could really make things interesting with the basket on this series. Here is a steal from Reed. Butts got it. Here is a stop by Miller. And he has 8.
That's a tough break for Purdue. They're in a situation, as you said, where they could have gotten back into the ball game a bit. And a miscue out front cost them a bundle.
Here is Reed now. Purdue has thrown the ball away 13 times, and we have a foul, and it'll be marked against number 42, I believe. And that'll be 4 on McCurdy.
That creates a problem for Ball State. They've gotten great play out of McCurdy down low. They're going to have to come back in with Muller now. He's 7 feet, but he doesn't have near the strength or jumping ability as that young man has coming out of the lineup. And Purdue will have to see if they can't exploit that weakness on the inside.
It is Purdue's basketball. Down by 12. Purdue has won its last 2 after the loss to Colorado last Saturday night in Denver. Reed, jumper. Missed it for 2. Out front, Tony Jones picks it up. Lays it over to Oliver. He walks. Twice now, Purdue has turned the ball over when they had a golden opportunity.
Gene Cady calling for the full court press, man-to-man. Boilermakers trying to get this game back under control, their control, doing things they'd like to do rather than doing what Ball State likes to do.
13.5 minutes to play. Here's the ball bounced off the foot of Melvin McCants. Out of bounds, Ball State. Substitution. Lauren Clyburn comes into the game for the Boilermakers. Clyburn is Purdue's top reserve, averaging 17 minutes off the bench. He's the team's number 3 scorer, averaging 9-2. Top floor shooters, 63%, and the best free throw shooter at 87%.
Well, let's see if he can't get some of that going here in this ball game. Been relatively quiet. Ryan Burning also came into the lineup during that lull in the action.
Here is Miller. Burning is on him. They go low. The turnaround shot is missed by McCurdy, cleared by Burning.
You notice Ball State doesn't hit at this end either. Maybe there's something different about this basket.
Burning, by the way, got 7 rebounds, his career high against Connecticut the other night. Scheffler, double team, triple team, up, no, foul. And it will be on the man underneath the basket there, either 32 or 44. We got to check it out. It'll be on Curtis Kidd, his second.
Was a great move down low by Scheffler coming across the top. Almost got the ball going inside. Look at the determination on his face, the muscle tone as he was really ready to go there. Steve's had a couple of free throws down already in this half, and he's back there again.
He has 8 points in every game. He's been in double figures this year. Purdue is 5 of 9 at the free throw line. Coach Gene Cady looking for his 183rd win at Purdue. Scheffler drops in his 9th. That cuts the lead to 11, 42-31.
Slowly but surely, Purdue getting back in it as Ball State has gone cold from the field.
Purdue is down 35-19. Now it is 42-31. Purdue has outscored the Cardinals 12-7. Here is Kidd. Went up and they got into the chest of McCants and the ball went loose. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Now 10. Butts remembers the three-point man. 6 seconds. 5. He shoots from 3. No. And here's a foul on Kidd as he cut the legs from under Melvin McCants. That's 3 on Kidd, 4 on McCurdy. Those are the 2 men who transferred from the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
McCants doing a good job inside, putting the body on McCurdy and Parrish whenever they're in there. This time it's Parrish. Watch McCants go up right there. See the undertow? No question on that one. We'll take a look at it from a different direction. There's the shot from the outside. It won't go. Big Mel goes up. It just sneaks right under. Boom. Boy, I tell you what, that hurts when you hit the floor with that hip.
Brugos is checked into the lineup for the Boilermakers. So we have Jones and Clyburn, Brugos, and Burning and Scheffler. Here is Clyburn. Drills it in for 3. Clyburn drills it in. And now it is an 8-point game, 42-34.
Well, you gave us those statistics on Clyburn. He comes right off the bench and does what you want him to, get a bucket down and Purdue's back in it.
And they're playing sticky defense, man-to-man. Outside with it is Stalling. Clyburn is on him. Stalling drives all the way down, stops, gives it back out. Kidd fires and scores. That's his 10th point and first in the second half. And now it's a 10-point game. And the ball is going to be out of bounds to the Purdue Boilermakers substitution. Sean Parrish is going to come into the lineup, and we're going to have a timeout with 11:31 to play in today's game. Purdue 34, Ball State 44. We'll be back right after this. By Scheffler, and he has 11. Now in every game he's been in double figures for Purdue this year.
Well, we wondered early in the half whether he got the message from Coach Cady by not starting here in the second half. He definitely got the message.
8-point game now. Here is Nichols coming back outside with Spicer. 25 seconds on the shot clock. This is Miller. Burning within. Purdue's playing. I thought they played pretty good defense, but they're sticking closer to him now in the second half.
They really are. Ball State is playing not to lose this game rather than playing to win.
Now we got his foul on McCants as he hit Parrish as Parrish went by, and that's the 3rd foul on Melvin. It's his 2nd in this half.
Parrish is a good player out on the court facing the basket. He's got good quickness as the Boilermakers, they finally got in the category there. 2 of 8. Ball State's still 5 of 9, but they're not getting many this half.
Cardinals have the ball. Parrish driving. And it rolled off, but tipped up and in. And the tip-in is going to be given to Miller, I believe.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, I'd like to see that on replay because I think that ball was still on the rim when he knocked it back in.
Now it's a 10-point game, 10:23 to play. Here is Melvin McCants turning, putting it up, and scoring. Melvin has 9. And we're in single digits again, 46-38 as the Boilermakers found themselves down 35-19, trying to pull it out here. Tony Jones almost knocked it away. Now we have 10 minutes to play in the game. Now we have a foul away from the ball, and Tony Jones has 4. He is the 3rd player in the game with 4. Well, the other two are McCurdy and Kidd.
That's one you didn't want to see against Tony Jones. Ball wasn't even there. He's trying to play defense away from the ball and evidently got caught on a hold, and the Boilermakers cannot exist very well without him.
So Purdue is getting ready to make a substitution. Bill Reed will be checking back in momentarily. This is Miller from long range. No. Rebounded by McCants. Almost was forced into a walking violation. No call. Tony Jones coming down. Gives it to Burning. Clyburn had a three a while ago. Melvin McCants working along the left side of the lane. Burning drills it up and in. A three-pointer. Burning has 7. And the Boilermakers are back within 5 now. 46-41. Remember, they were down 35-19 when this half began.
I'm beginning to believe it has something to do with the end of the court. Both teams were red hot at that far end. Maybe there's something with the rim.
Here is an attempt missed by the Cardinals. Stalling couldn't get it, and the Boilermakers go the other way with 9 minutes to play. Tony Jones down quickly, down by 5. We had a foul away from the ball. And it'll be called on Miller. 31, that'll be his second foul. That's 7 on the team.
Bill Reed back into the lineup, replacing Tony Jones, who was able to get out before he committed foul number 5.
McCurdy and Kidd are back in, and remember, I believe each of those has 4 fouls now.
They've got to come back into the lineup. Coach Majerus knows that if the Boilermakers get out in front of them, they're going to be hard to catch. They'll be on the wrong end of the emotional flow in the ball game, so he's going to try to maintain that lead. 9:02 remaining, and it's anybody's ball game now.
And at the free throw line is Melvin McCants. He's been there 3 times and made 1. He has 9 points. Boilermakers are 7 of 11 at the free throw line.
One of the things about this catch-up that Purdue has done here this afternoon is that they didn't expend a lot of energy doing it. They didn't have to go out and press real hard and scrap and fight. They just played their normal ball game, and they've gotten back in it.
Melvin misses this one, and Ball State gets it. Now we had a foul, and Bill Reed is guilty of his 4th. He now is the second Boilermaker with 4. On the other side, 4 fouls against McCurdy and Kidd. So we'll go to the free throw line now, and each team is in the bonus with 9 minutes exactly to play in the game.
Well, that makes things relatively even. Purdue with their 2 front court people down with 4 fouls, or their back court people, I guess. And on the other side, the big guys for Ball State, their inside people, 2 of them with 4 fouls. Oh, it's going to be critical to play defense now with your feet instead of with your hand as Keith Stewart comes in, replacing Bill Reed.
At the free throw line is Sean Parrish. First free throw for the Cardinals in this half. And that's his first one made in the game for him. That increases the lead, 47-42. McCants got the rebound. Another big trip down the floor for the Boilermakers. Stewart uses up the dribble, needs help, and the ball is kicked. It'll be out of bounds to Purdue. Purdue gets a new 45 on the clock. 8:47 to play. Scoreboard up there says defense for the Cardinals.
It's important that Purdue get a lead here before the last minute or 2 in the ball game. Find out what it's like to hold that lead and get this crowd quieted down.
Keith Stewart way across to Burning. He had a 3 just a few moments ago. Burning driving, can hit from there, and he's fouled. Oh no, offense. Offensive foul.
Take a look at it again. Here goes Burning up. Question is where the contact comes from. It looked like that they were sliding in there just a little bit. Let's take a look at another angle here. There he goes up in the air. He makes the contact on the way. That's a tough call. That's a tough call. Can go either way. And guess which way it's going to go when you're on the road.
Greg Miller is back into the lineup for Ball State. Ball State with the basketball. We have a 5-point game with 8.5 minutes to play in this one. Purdue is playing at University Gym for the first time in history. Outside with the ball is Keith Stalling. He is guarded by Clyburn. McCants is working against Miller. In and going for the basket and missing is McCurdy, but he is fouled, and the foul is on Stewart. He did a nice job to prevent that ball from going in the basket.
Well, and what was going to happen if Keith doesn't come down low there, he's going to jam it. And one thing you don't want is you don't want him jamming the ball and getting this crowd all fired up again. So Stewart made a good move to come down there and foul. And he probably didn't expect Stewart to explode out of the floor like that. Remember, Keith has got great jumping ability.
Oliver is in. Burning is out for the Boilermakers. Free shot is missed by the Cardinals. So McCurdy will be shooting his second attempt of the afternoon. Drops this one in. He has 5 points. 9 of 14 for the Cardinals. They're up now 48-42.
Well, Purdue saved a point on that one.
They got a reach around foul called on Nichols, his third. 8 minutes to play in the game. It's a 1 in bonus now for the Boilermakers. Each team is in the bonus. These free throws really become important now.
He knows that his club just cannot afford to miss any opportunity. If it's at the free throw line, if it's a rebound, if it's a loose ball on the court, they've got to take every opportunity and turn it into something positive for the black and gold.
The freshman for Milwaukee is 4 of 6 at the free throw line. Doesn't get it to fall. And the Cardinals come down with it. Greg Miller, the rebound. McCurdy waits for the other Ball State players to come down. We have Parrish with it. Here is Miller. Ball deflected away, but picked up by Stalling. In low to Miller. Fires. It trickles in there. Miller with a dozen. And now it is an 8-point lead for Ball State.
That's a great offensive move by Miller as they knocked the ball out of bounds. Made a little head fake to the inside. Came right around Mel McCants with that nice little jump shot.
We have a timeout. 7:27 to play in the game. The score, Purdue 42, Ball State leading with 50. We'll be back after this message from your local station.
Why did I buy...
It's going to be a matter of who can stay in there the longest.
Scheffler outside, goes to Tony Jones. He's playing with 4. Into Melvin McCants. Couldn't get it to fall. He made a good power move, but couldn't get it to drop in, and the Cardinals come off with it. Purdue had cut the lead to 5, remember?
Ball State came down with 3 people on Big Mel trying to keep him away from the basketball. He still got it, but he couldn't get it in.
Less than 7 to play in the game. Miller with 12, Butts with 13 out there, and Kidd with 10. Purdue has 2 men in double figures, Scheffler with 11, and McCants with 10. Ball State's taking time off the clock, 15 on the shot clock. Shot is missed, and missed there by McCurdy and cleared by the Boilermakers, and here's Tony Jones on the dribble. 6.5 to play. Purdue down by 8. Needing every effort like that. Scheffler has 13. That cuts it to 6.
Scheffler's been red hot here in the second half down low. They got to get him the basketball. He's the big man with the shot right now.
Scheffler's had 2 games with 10, 1 of 11, 116, 114, and 121. Here's another miss by the Cardinals, missed by McCurdy. That's 2 in a row he's missed. Tony Jones driving down, lays it off. Here is Clyburn, lays it under, and a foul. Clyburn charge. His second. After he released the ball.
Well, that's a tough break for Purdue. Here it comes. It's going to go up in the air. Contact made after the release of the ball. No question on the charge. Kind of a, maybe you call it a freshman mistake. Got up in the air, and when you do that, you've lost control of what's happening to the ball and to your body. And at that point, the Ball State Cardinals made the good play. They'll go to the free throw line, and Purdue needs to get that lead down to 2 points so they can have a chance of getting the lead themselves.
Harris McCurdy is 1 for 2. It's Purdue's basketball. I don't think the crowd particularly liked that one.
Tell you what, they're not going to like anything that goes for the Boilermakers right now.
There's the head man of the Cardinals. His team was 14-14 last year in his first year. But Ball State's off to a 5-0 start here in the 1988-89 season. Oliver with the ball. Under 6 minutes to play. Way across to Tony Jones. They go to Burning. Fires. Scores! Nice turnaround jumper by Burning. He has 9, and it is a 4-point game.
You can shoot that fall-away jumper at 6'9". It's just nearly impossible to block. Nice layout, controlled move.
And now we're going to have a timeout called by Ball State. 5:31 to play in the game. Your scores: Purdue 46, Ball State 50. We'll be back right after this.
Anticipating a great ball game here this afternoon. They've gotten it.
Purdue needs a great defensive play here. Down by 4. This is the closest Purdue has been since way back in the first half when they were down 14-10 after leading 10-9. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Here is Butts missing. Air ball. Almost. Burning got it off. Tony Jones throws it long. A great steal by Greg Miller. Purdue got a little too quick.
What a great athletic move by, I think it was Butts that came down and grabbed that thing. Boy, I tell you what, it's just super speed and quickness.
Here's a foul on the other side away from the ball, and it'll go against Purdue. Clyburn is guilty of his 3rd. That is 11 on the team. Will go to the line with the Cardinals, who have had trouble in the second half. 2 of 4.
Clyburn trying to slide through the pick. More than anything else, looked like he was trying to go through a wall as he knocked the Ball State player to the floor. And it'll be a foul and a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Cardinals. And they haven't been able to hit the basket very good from anywhere here in the second half. These are key free throws.
Sean Parrish, 1 of 3. Scheffler's back in. Oliver goes out. Shot is good for Parrish. His 7th point of the afternoon. 10 of 16 for the Cardinals. It's a 5-point game.
One thing you don't want to allow Ball State to do now is to get that crowd all hyped up and fired up again. Purdue needs to come down and quiet them down.
Parrish makes it a 6-point game. 52-46. Purdue had cut it to 4. Another important strip down for Purdue. Down by 6. Tony Jones playing with 4 fouls. Needs help. Gets it away to McCants. Back to Tony. Short jumper. Wouldn't say. Tipped up by Clyburn. No. Rebounded by Kidd. 4:20 to play. 52-46. Redbird. Oh, here's a... Oh, the ball is kicked, I guess, out of bounds. He's blocked out by the standard there, and he went out of bounds to Ball State. Coach Majerus indicating the play. He's 75-49 when you add the games that he wanted. Marquette. Miller takes it outside. McCants is on him. Just a little more than 4 minutes to play on this one. 6-point game. Here is Butts firing it outside. Almost threw it too high for Nichols.
Great play by Ryan Burning. He recognized what was happening and dropped back in to clog the lane.
When the ball was kicked a while ago, the Cardinals got a new 45. Here is a great shot from outside by Butts. He has 4 3-pointers. He has 16, and it's now 55-46.
Exactly what you didn't want. You didn't want the crowd to get excited again. Now they're hyped up. It'll bring Ball State up to another level.
McCants turns, puts it up. No. Rebounded by Kidd. 3:25 to play. Now it is a 9-point game with Ball State ahead. Miller with the ball. Wanted to go inside. 4 3-pointers by Billy Butts have been a big difference here in today's game.
Ball State staying away from the basket.
No basket. McCants guilty of a foul. It's his 4th. He is the 3rd Purdue player with 4. And remember, McCurdy and Kidd got their 4 fouls reasonably early in the second half. But they've been able to keep themselves in that position. Now we're going to have a substitution for Purdue. Scheffler is out, and Oliver is in. Oliver has attempted 16 3-pointers and made 6.
You're going to see us a lot more pressure now from Purdue. Taking Scheffler out. He's the banger on the inside. Good offensively, but he cannot play the full court pressure like he needs to. Miller has done a great job here all afternoon long in taking McCants away from the basket. and then making the quick drive move to the bucket and getting the foul on McCants.
Greg Miller has 12 points, misses this one, burning rebounds. 3 minutes left. Tony Jones finds his team down by 9. Here's a pass inside, deflected away, but retrieved by Purdue, and a foul on the Cardinals. It'll be on Miller. He has 3. 9 on the team.
Well, you got to hit the free throws now. Purdue hasn't been tremendously hot from the free throw line. It's a good hustle play by McCants. Lost the ball coming inside on the deflection, but he went back and picked it up. That's the kind of senior leadership you're looking for. Now McCants has got to go to the line and knock down 2 and get this game a little closer.
He is 2 of 5. He has 10 points. Didn't get it. And Ball State comes down with it with 2:48 to play. And a foul in the backcourt. It'll be against the Boilermakers. Clyburn commits his 4th.
Well, there you see the free throw shooting percentages by guys on the court at the moment. Nobody there that you really want to put on the free throw line here in the last couple of minutes, according to their percentages. Reed is an excellent free throw shooter, but has not been able to find the range yet this season.
Scott Nichols is up there for the 2nd time. He was up there once, and somebody stepped into the lane. Nullified his 2nd attempt. That's only his 3rd point, but it was a big one. 12 of 19 now, and the Cardinals lead by 10. The lead had been trimmed to 50 to 46, and the last 6 points have been scored by Ball State.
Becomes kamikaze time now. You got to take chances. Got to go after the steal. Got to go after the three-point play, whether it's inside or from the outside. Try to make something happen in a hurry.
Here's a 3 by Burning. No. Battle for the rebound, and a foul is going to be called on Oliver over the back, I believe. Oliver's foul. And the crowd smells victory with 2:39 to play and a lead of 11.
Burning with the three-pointer. He squared up pretty well. Just can't find the range. There's Oliver over the top. Picks up the foul. Now Ball State at the free throw line. And it's looking tough here for Purdue. And they knew this was going to be a monster ball game for them. Ball State's been pointing to it for a long time.
That's 4 in a row in the second half for Sean Parrish. 14 of 21 for Ball State, looking for its 6th win against no losses. Rebounded by Tony Jones. 2.5 to play. Burning to Tony Jones. Shoots it up. No. Burning can't hold the rebound. And with 2:20 to play, here come the Cardinals from Ball State with a 12-point lead. Purdue had cut it to 4 when it was 50 to 46. Purdue had won the first 3 times these 2 teams had met. About a 33-point average winning margin.
Remember, though, that's not the same team we're seeing here this afternoon. A lot of transfers added in. Rick Majerus has built a good, solid Ball State ball club here now.
And 3 starters from Purdue from last year. Billy Reed fouls, and I think that'll be his 5th. He will leave with 150 and 5 points, 1 field goal, a 3-pointer. Coach Cady will make a substitution. And number 10, Woody Austin, 6'2", freshman out of Richmond. Mr. Basketball in Indiana last year will come into the lineup. There's Rick Majerus. Boy, he'll celebrate this one probably for a long time.
Well, until his next ball game anyway, because every one of them are important.
This will be his 2nd Big Ten win this year.
I tell you, the key guy has been Miller. He's been able to handle the ball out on the court, take McCants away from the basket, and Miller's not used to playing defense out there. Miller has good ball handling skills and been a great release player here today for Ball State.
Billy Butts with 17, now 18. And the Ball State Cardinals have scored the last 10 points after Purdue had cut it to 4. Here's Burning through his hands, out of bounds. Ball State with the basketball. Purdue plays again at home next Saturday. Utah comes calling. Woody Austin commits the foul. 1:38 to play, and this place will erupt, no doubt.
It'll be a wild celebration in Muncie tonight.
The snow will be melting out there.
Oh, I tell you what, the Cardinals have played great basketball here this afternoon. They've done what they had to do to win the game. Did a good job on the backboard. They fought through some cold shooting, got to the free throw line, and they've taken the full measure of the Boilermakers here this afternoon.
Butts missed that one, but he's got 18. Underneath, here is the shot up and in by the Boilermakers. Oliver makes the basket. He has 4. That stopped the run. Here's a free basket on the other end. Greg Miller makes the most of it with 14. 62-48. Here come the Boilermakers with a little more than a minute to play. Tony Jones fires it in. Tony's first field goal of the afternoon. Here is a steal by Purdue. Burning makes it. Tony Jones fires. No. Burning can't hold the rebound. Picked up by Nichols. Now it goes out of bounds. Purdue's basketball. 55 seconds left.
Oh, I tell you what, it's turned into showtime here for Ball State on that turnaround slam a moment ago. Purdue still has the basketball. 55 seconds. It'd take a miracle.
18 for Butts. 14 for Miller. 10 for Kidd. Here is Burning missing a three-pointer. 9 points for Parrish. 4 for Nichols. And we have a foul on Woody Austin. On the other side, 13 for Scheffler, 9 for McCants, 9 for Burning, 5 for Reed, 2 for Stewart, 3 for Clyburn, 2 for Jones, 4 for Oliver, and 2 for Brugos.
And we talked about it at the outset, Joe. You've got to prove every night that you're a good basketball team. Purdue showed us against Connecticut how they can play ball, the kinds of moves they can make, the way they can shoot from the field. But here this afternoon at Ball State, they haven't been able to regain that magic, as you called it earlier. They just have not been able to get back in the flow. Credit Ball State for an excellent basketball game. They forced Purdue out of what the Boilermakers wanted to do and took it right to them.
Butts makes them both. He has 20, matching his previous best. And it is now 64-50. Here is Burning missing it. McCants tips it alive. McCants tips it up and in. He has 12. And we have a timeout with 36 seconds to play with the score. Ball State 64, Purdue 52. We'll be back right after this. That last basket, Bob Ford, by Melvin McCants was his 12th point of the afternoon, and I look on the all-time scoring list. I see he just tied Mel Garland with 1,243. And if he gets one more, there's a name here, Bob Ford, on the list, 1,244. He'll kind of move into that spot.
Well,
but he's playing in his 4th year.
Well, that's all right. Maybe Mel will get it here this afternoon and move him up another step. I think Boilermakers could use a couple of breaks here.
And we have a foul on the inbounds play, and Woody Austin commits his 4th. And we'll come down here with 34 seconds to play, and the lead is 12. Tony Jones got the foul, I'm sorry. Tony Jones going to be his 5th foul. So we'll be going to the free throw line with the Ball State Cardinals. Purdue makes a substitution. And number 22, Dave Barrett out of Oxford comes in. 64-52, Ball State.
Young basketball teams are going to have days when they can't do anything right. Boilermakers did roll it here in the second half and do some things that they thought would help, but it just was not enough. They got within 4 points. They had a chance as a lane violation on the far side by Clyburn, who lost his balance. We'll give the shot back to Ball State again. Purdue will be looking for consistency every time out. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, let's see what they're going to do here.
There's another lane violation, this time by Miller. And the ball is going to now go out of bounds to Purdue, so break for the Boilers.
Here is Austin down. He takes a jumper. No. Rebounded by Greg Miller. And we have another foul called on Purdue, and Barrett is guilty of that. With 26 seconds. Jarris can't wait for this one to be over. He spent a long time as an assistant at Marquette, then became a head coach and did well there. Had seasons of 1911, 20 and 11, and 17 and 13. So at the line is Greg Miller. He's 1 for 3, gets his 15th point. Now it is a 13-point game. Remember, Purdue had cut it to 4. Unofficially, the Cardinals are 20 of 30. Here's a three-pointer missed by Clyburn. Austin from 3, fires it in, and he's also fouled. Austin backed up to that three-point line. He knew where it was. He drilled it in. Then he was fouled as he made it. 66-55, 17 seconds left.
Gene Cady and the Boilermakers a little dejected here this afternoon. They expected to come in here and play better basketball than they did. They wanted to shoot the ball a little bit better as Austin knocks that one home. They just couldn't get it done as Ball State was red hot.
Now we'll have a substitution. Out is Billy Butts. He's the team's leading scorer with 20, matching his previous high. Stalling is fouled by Barrett, his second. And with 15 seconds to play, we have another free throw coming for the Cardinals. Unofficially, they've been there 30 times and made 20. Coach Cady's team will go 4 and 3.
When you end up looking at the stats at the end of the ball game, you're going to see a terrible mismatch in fouls, but that's not really going to be indicative of what happened. Purdue has fouled a bunch coming down the stretch here, trying to get Ball State at the line, hoping that they would miss. Actually, the second half, the fouls were called heavily against Ball State early, and Purdue didn't get very many.
68-56. Time is being counted down. 7 seconds. We have another foul. And I guess that'll be on Austin. That is his 4th. And they have been celebrating for some time, but they rise in appreciation for their team here. Boilermakers will be looking to get back at Mackey, where they do very, very well and did extremely well against Connecticut the other night.
They have finals coming up next week, and I'll guarantee you they'll spend a tough week in practice getting ready for the Utes, because Gene Cady will want to find that magic that he had against Connecticut, get the Boilermakers back in tow and ready to go for the Big Ten, because that season is sneaking up on them, and they're going to play in a lot of arenas like this one.
Stalling has made 4 in a row, and the lead now is 70-56. 5 seconds. Barrett comes down. He'll shoot a 3. Couldn't get it. It's tipped by Austin. No. The game is over, and the Cardinals have beaten the Purdue Boilermakers 70-56. And they're on the floor. Coach Cady congratulating Rick Majerus. Majerus now has knocked off 2 Big Ten teams, beating Minnesota in the opener in overtime. And now the Boilermakers, and the Boilermakers perhaps came off an emotional high against Connecticut, and then they lose here 70-56 to the Ball State Cardinals.
Today's game has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by the American Dairy Association of Indiana, your local dairy farmer.
So it was Billy Butts with 20 and Greg Miller with 16. They were the big guns for the Ball State Cardinals. Boilermakers had a couple of players in double figures. Scheffler with 13 and McCants with 12.
Boilermakers couldn't find the range early in the ball game. The Ball State Cardinals were red hot, and that was the story. They just shot the lights out.
Along with my partner Bob Ford, this is Joe Pate saying so long from Muncie, Indiana, where the final score once again was Ball State 70, Purdue 56. The executive producer of Raycom Sports is Peter Ross.